Welcome to Nature Walk at Seven Hills. Thank you for coming out. Let's give the candidates a hand to start the thing off. Let's give the food a hand. Wasn't that good barbecue? Best barbecue in the state. I would like to introduce Sue Jones. She's the president of the HOA here at the retreat, who is co-hosting tonight. She'd like to welcome you.
Welcome. Thank you so much for coming. We are just thrilled to have you here in this beautiful clubhouse, and what a great evening we selected. So we did it just for you guys. Just let you know. So, but welcome. I hope you enjoy. Okay.
Let's do that mic.
Use this.
Okay.
Sorry.
Right. Sorry. Okay, well, anyway, we're going to get started, but thank you so much for coming and enjoy yourself, and
Is it this one still?
thank you. I'm done.
Sorry about that.
I'm done. Wasn't meant for that. Take it easy, sir. I know.
All right, so I'd like to take a few minutes and kind of go over some of the rules and what we're doing here tonight. The purpose of this event, Nature Walk at Seven Hills is a very new subdivision. We have about 200 new homeowners that have moved in here in the last 2 years, many of whom have never voted in the county. So the purpose of this event was to connect them with the candidates and let the candidates connect with new voters. And it's intended to be a very open event, an even event, and not just slant towards anyone. So we hope everybody will feel that when they leave. We also invited others at Seven Hills as well as some of the candidate staff, and I'm pleased with the crowd that we have here tonight. Thank you very much for coming out. Just a few VIPs. Tony Crow is our Post 4 commissioner. He represents Nature Walk at Seven Hills. Appreciate him coming out. Ron Davis, hold up your hand, Ron. He just won the Post 1 seat, replacing Mr. Carmichael, who resigned to run for this office. And he's still running, but he's not going to be on your ballot. He's in a different part of the county, which is why he's not up here tonight. And then Paula Rakestraw, where's Paula? Paulette Rakestraw, my apologies. Is she here?
She's here.
Okay, well, she's missing out. So she's running for one of the state reps. Again, it's not part of Seven Hills. Our District 17 folks are going to be part of the forum tonight. We decided to put this event on a few months ago. The candidates were all very cooperative and wanted to do it. One of our problems is we were looking for a moderator, and unfortunately, Megan Kelly was not available. So she returned my text and said something about an election that was more important than Paulding County's. What is the deal with that? So anyway, so you're stuck with me. I've never done this before, but I've watched like 200 debates in the last 2 months, so I must know what I'm doing, right? So let me tell you a little bit about the rules. The audience is encouraged to clap. You can laugh. Do not throw things. And do not heckle. If there's any Bernie Sanders guys here, no heckling. What we're going to do tonight is the four chairman candidates are going to speak 4 minutes each, and we have drawn straws to determine the order before the event. And then they're going to be given 90 seconds each in the exact same order to come back and do a rebuttal if needed, or say anything, say what more they want to. They're allowed to say anything that they want to say. We've encouraged them to tell us why one's different than the other. There's 4 of you, so we're trying to understand why we should vote for one over the other. And then once the chairman candidates are done, we're going to have the District 17 candidates. And then we'll do the same thing. So 4 minutes each. Again, the order's been chosen, and then we'll do a 90-second rebuttal. It should only take about 45 minutes if we do good, and we'll go from there. So timing-wise, we're going to keep a timer. They get the 4 minutes. At the 4-minute mark, they get the bell, just like on TV. We'll be nice to them for a few seconds, and then we'll throw them in the pool or something. So just I know some of you are well educated about Paulding County. On the chairman race, Paulding County is divided into 4 commission districts. Each district elects their own commission, and then there's a county-wide race that the whole county votes on that the chairman serves, and that's what's up for running this time. The other races, with the exception of Ron's, are not up this time around. District 17 runs roughly from front of Seven Hills all the way west to Paulding. The west is the west 2/3 of Paulding County, right? And so it's most of Paulding County, and that is the state representative. So whoever wins that election will go down to the state house and serve us at the next term next year. So without further ado, I'm going to read just a little brief about each candidate and give them their 4 minutes, and we'll get started. So let's give them one more hand. So this is Robbie Dobson. Mr. Dobson grew up in Dallas, Georgia, and graduated high school at Paulding County High. He is married to wife Leanne and has 4 children, 2 boys and 2 girls. His youngest son is in the United States Air Force, and he is a big supporter of our military. Robbie is a founding member of Ridge Riders Motorcycle Ministry at West Ridge Church, and he loves to ride motorcycles with his wife. He has been a successful business owner in the county for over 35 years. So give him a hand.
Thank y'all for coming out tonight. This is my first political run I've ever tried to do. I've been in business for 35 plus years here in the county. I think that qualifies me. They wanted us to say what makes us different from other candidates. And I guess mine is just being in business for all them years and being able to make decisions. I'm not just wanting to spend your money. I've had a business where I had to make money so I could spend it on other things. And it's a lot harder to be in business nowadays than it used to be. But I've got a real desire to try to help the other commissioners in this county change some stuff that's going on now. The county split over the airport deal. It's really a big deal. We're spending a lot of money on this airport. We've done things that that need to be fixed so we can move forward in this county. We've got a lot of infrastructure that needs to have some repair done on it. We need to upgrade stuff, our roads and bridges, our ditches and drainage. We have a lot of things in this county that really need some attention, and took off the airport and other things so we can work on this stuff. Our law enforcement officers, I'm very good friends with a lot of them, and they have a tough job out here, and I really support them a lot, the firefighters and all our county employees. It's tough times for a lot of people, and this county's been through a lot of tough times in the past. When the building industry fell, it put a lot of people around here out of a job, and I'm glad to see it's coming back because we really depended on a lot of this stuff around for the county. But I would just, I don't know what I'm doing a lot of times. In running this race, I'm trying to do it on a budget. I don't have a big war pension to spend. So I'm just doing the best I can do, and I would be proud to serve you. And I think that's one of the problems. We hadn't had representation in this county in a lot of years. They just, whatever they wanted to do, they just did, and didn't consult with the people, didn't listen to the people. It's like we didn't have a voice. And I think that needs to change, and I think we need to start right here taking America back. Start at home here, and let's try to get some of this stuff fixed here. And, it's just I love this county, and I said I've got, 5 grandchildren here too. And, my kids and grandkids are probably going to be the one that suffer through a lot of this stuff that we're making decisions on now if we don't make the right decisions. We're fixing to start a water reservoir here in the county, and that's a giant project. I mean, it's, it's going to be in the hundreds of millions of dollars, and we need to really watch this closely and make sure it don't go over budget. There's just, there's so much going on in this county right now. It's just, it's amazing that, the things that's going on here that we really need to pay attention to and work on. And I just feel like, that I got a calling to do this, and, it's, I don't know if I can make all the right decisions. I'll do the best I can. I'll do the best to serve you. If I'm elected, and we've got a fine bunch of people here running. I can't say a lot bad about none of them. You know, they're all good people here too. So I would really appreciate your vote. You know, I really should be listening to y'all instead of y'all listening to me, because y'all are the ones that this is about. It's not about me. I'm just one vote in this whole crowd. You know, so I'd love to hear what y'all have to say about some stuff and what y'all's worries or concerns are for the county. And you know, that's just my main agenda, is being able to serve y'all and just trying to move on with the other commissioners and do the best we can. Thank you.
Perfect. Dave Carmichael drew the second straw. Come on up here, Dave. All right, so Mr. Carmichael has been a resident of Paulding County for over 37 years. He has been married 41 years with 4 children and 10 grandchildren. He has a bachelor's in civil engineering from Vanderbilt and a master's in aeronautic systems. He is a retired Marine Corps colonel. He served Georgia for 23 years as a highway engineer and ended his career as administrator for the Georgia Department of Air Transportation. Dave serves on the elder team at Westridge Church and recently served on the Paulding Commission as commissioner from 2013 to 2015. Very good.
So good to be able to speak with you tonight. I chose the slogan for my campaign of Choose Opportunity. And I'm very thankful for all the experiences and positions of leadership that I have had that shaped my life. My vision is for the future. We need to stop looking in the past and looking through the rearview mirror and look ahead at all the opportunities that lay before us. There are 2 numbers on my shirt. There's an 80 and a 75.7. These represent 2 percentages. The first percentage represents the Paulding County citizens that leave the county to go to work. Not only is this costly on gas, and that people tend to shop as they come and go to and from work, and guess where the money goes there? It goes to other counties' coffers. A recent published article showed that Paulding County residents drive upwards to an hour each way to work, 2 hours a day, 10 hours a week, 500 hours a year. We can all think of numerous ways that 500 hours would be better spent. Think of the time that could be invested in our county in just living and playing here in Paulding County. The second number is 75.7. And this percentage represents the county revenue generated from residential property tax, sales tax, and charges for services. This is the highest percentage of any county in the Atlanta area. I think we would all agree that this is one area where we don't want to be number one. Paulding County simply cannot sustain itself at this level. The 3 main priorities that I have are unity and harmony and healing, and planning for growth and economic development. We absolutely must have unity on our board of directors, on our board of commissioners. Unity is not always about agreeing, but in a total commitment to the common good of all of our citizens. Now, on a county-wide scale, I want to do a community visioning project where we seek the input of citizens and develop a 25-year vision of how we can live, work, and play right here in Paulding County. Now, 25 years is a significant number because in 25 years it'll be the year 2040, and in 2040, Paulding County is projected to be 260,000 people strong. With that level of growth, our infrastructure will not only need to be maintained, but obviously expanded. With my civil engineering and infrastructure development background, I will be able to navigate our county through the opportunities that we have in addressing those infrastructure needs. We cannot deal with growth without aggressive economic development. America was built on a free market economy where individuals and entrepreneurs capitalize on their ideas and hard work to build businesses. In turn, that contributes to the local economy through jobs and tax revenue. Having previously worked with the Georgia Commissioner of Economic Development, Chris Carr, I became very familiar with economic development, the process, and the value to Georgia. Additionally, I've had previous discussion with Lake Point CEO Representative Earl Earnhardt about the phases of the development at Lake Point. Sorry, things are sticking together. About the development at Lake Point that you're all familiar with, and the potential for our growth and development as we're the adjoining county. So I work with all Paulding organizations and businesses to aggressively seek out and pursue and recruit other businesses, companies, corporations to our Paulding County in order to provide jobs and to broaden the county's revenue sources. I'm blessed with 10 grandchildren and one on the way, and I desire for them to be able to work and play right here at home. My life has been about serving, whether it's to my God, my country, my family, my state, or county. And that's why I'm asking for you, the voters, to choose the opportunity to use my experience to lead Paulding County and move us forward, not only for my grandchildren, but for yours. Thank you.
Mr. Leggett. This is Roger Leggett. Mr. Leggett is a lifelong resident of Paulding County. He is married and has one grown child and 3 grandchildren. Roger served on the Paulding Commission from 1995 to 2001 and has served as a deputy for the Sheriff's Department and firefighter for the Fire Department. That's hard to say. He also worked for, I'm not going to try. He also worked for Lockheed for 30 years and retired in 2014.
Thank you very much. As he said, I am married. I've been married to my wife Debbie for 42 years. We live on the south end of the county near the intersection of Nebo Road and Dallas Nebo Road. I did graduate from Paulding County High School in 1972. I went on to take courses through Lockheed and became a Lockheed employee and served there for 30 years. The last 10 years was on the flight line, working with aircraft on the flight line. In 1976, we had a series of fatalities due to house fires. We had 5 within 1 month and had no fire department. That's when I and several of the people in the community went together and formed Ridge Road Volunteer Fire Department. Unfortunately, during one of those fires was one of my family that passed away, and so that increased my desire to do that. We went from nothing and made it into what the fire department you see is today. We bonded together all the little volunteer departments in the county in 1980, and we served very well as a volunteer department, but it was time at that time to go to a full-time department, and a lot of the guys that are in these stations now are people that I trained. I started my career in public safety as a police officer in the city of Dallas. I went from there to the Paulding County Sheriff's Department and then left there and did various things until I went to Lockheed. So I have a varied career that gave me a lot of experience. In 1995, as he said, I became the Post 2 Commissioner and served there for 7 years. During that 7-year time, a lot of great things happened. All the commercial development you see along 92 to the Cobb County line happened during that 7-year period. The Silver Comet Trail is one of the benefits that we were able to give Paulding County when we took the old railroad that Southern had abandoned, and we made it into one of the best walking trails in this country. If you've never been on it, you need to go walk on it. It's got, especially on the west side, it's got beautiful areas where there's forestry. There's an old railroad trestle over Pumpkin Vine Creek that is just awesome. There's a tunnel before you get to Rockmart that you go all the way through the tunnel. You go through the mountain. And all of that was done with our SPLOST funds and with the state. They helped us along with it also. The PATH Foundation has been a wonderful benefit to this state. During that 7 years, we built Bill Caruth Parkway, which was at that time West Hiram Parkway. We did more road projects than had ever been done previous to that time, and went from a 3-man commission to a 5-man commission that we have today. So there were a lot of changes that were done in that 7-year period that I was on the commission. I think I have the experience to work with our government as we have it now. All 4 commissioners that are on the board now, I can work with very well. When I was on the commission, we had 7 budgets that we went through in that 7 years, and we either decreased the millage rate or held the millage rate and never increased any of it. I think I'm 62 years old now. I don't have a business that I have to support out of this office. I think it's something that is critical that we have the right leadership. We've got an airport up there that we have to find a way to use. I don't believe the passenger service is the way to do it. I don't think Paulding can afford it. Thank you.
Galloway? Let me introduce you first. This is Virginia Galloway. Ms. Galloway has lived in Paulding County for over 23 years. She is married and has 4 grown children and 3 grandchildren. In 2014, Virginia was the regional director for the Faith and Freedom Coalition. She has served in many campaigns and has promoted legislation on various issues at the Georgia State House. She loves hiking and canoeing with her family. Very good.
Thank you. Hi, good evening, everybody. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate this, and I appreciate the opportunity to speak to each of you. And I think it's so important that all of Paulding County comes together. Paulding County, I'm going to talk more about Paulding County than myself, okay? Because that's what we're about tonight, right? Paulding County is a growing county. When we moved here 23 years ago, there were a lot of farms, still a lot of dirt roads. There were about 42,000 people here, our population. Now we've got about 150,000. And, you know, with that growth has come some issues. We've had some problems. We've had schools that were overcrowded, traffic problems. Anybody experienced any of those? Yeah, I thought so. Also, we had a lot of housing put up, but not too much commercial growth. Not enough commercial growth, in fact, to support the school system that we have and to support some vital county services that we have. So that's an area that we need to work on. But let me say that one thing that has made me sad in Paulding County in the last few years is that I see a growing division in Paulding County. And we need to heal that so that we can move this county forward. I came from Cobb County. I lived in Cobb County from the time I was 10 years old until we moved out here. And Cobb divided itself very quickly into East Cobb and West Cobb. And a lot of you are from Cobb County. I've talked with you, and you know that they're still very divided in that way. And Paulding County is divided that way. We're also divided North Cobb. I'm sorry, not North Cobb. North Paulding and South Paulding. East Paulding, West Paulding. We're divided between people who have lived here all their lives and people who have come in newly. And we're also divided over that airport. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm really tired of the airport issue. But we do have to do something about it. We need to resolve it. But when we get it resolved, we need to move on, we need to move forward, and we need to do everything possible to unify this county. Now, let's talk a minute about the potential in Paulding County, because that's what I'm very excited about. Once we settle this airport thing, we can get business to come here. I talked with our former economic development person, Jamie Gilbert. He is now in another state working happily in economic development, and he left here because he said he had so many projects in the pipeline, and then the whole airport thing erupted, and all the businesses stepped away. They said, we don't want to come to a county that's fighting with itself. And so we can't continue to do that. So once we get this resolved, we will be able to attract those businesses, some medium-sized businesses. We're never going to have a Kia plant here, guys, and that's probably a good thing. The huge plants, we just don't have the topography for that, and we don't have the infrastructure and resources for that, but we could sure have some good medium-sized companies here and some divisions of larger companies. But one thing that has really been on my mind, because the people of Paulding County are creative, hardworking people, many of them want their own businesses. We've made it too difficult to start a business in Paulding County. I've talked with many business owners who have said that the process for getting a business license is just arduous, and it shouldn't be. If we want more business, what do? We make that easier. And we can do that, and I have some very specific ideas on how to do that. But we're going to lay out the welcome mat for business again in Paulding County. Otherwise, we will be crushed by the tax burden. Mr. Carmichael spoke about Lake Point. I've been talking with my friend Earl Earhart at Lake Point, who is a state representative. He's the CEO up there. And a couple of years ago, I found out he was CEO of that. I really didn't even realize it. And I said, well, how big is this thing going to be? And he said, well, it's going to be bigger than Disney World. I said, you got to be kidding me. So I met with him. He showed me the plans. Next year, they expect 2 million visitors. And you might say, well, what does that have to do with Paulding County? They're in Bartow County. They are, but if they're going to be that big, we will be affected. So will we plan for the future, and will we build some businesses up here that can attract people who visit there over the line to spend some money to help our economy, or are we going to be overrun with people from there who are here to cause trouble because we didn't live up to our potential? I choose to do the first. I think we can really do a great job developing in a smart way, in an intelligent way. The last thing we want up that way is hotels that went by the hour. We need to have classy development. The same thing on the south side, and we need to make sure that that big 6-lane highway coming in is the same way. But thank you, and I would appreciate your vote. Please vote Virginia.
Thank you, Virginia. Each candidate gets 90 more seconds.
I'd just like to thank all y'all for coming out again tonight. And those of you that are new to Paulding County, I'd like to, wish you the best and hope this turns out to be as good a place for y'all as it has been for me. I mean, it's home for me. I love this place. I'm really interested in what goes on around here. And I just wish you'd vote for me. That's all I got to say.
I thank you all also for being here. I'm very motivated to try to serve my county. I've been blessed with so many leadership opportunities and experiences, and also because of the grandchildren and the family orientation that I have, I would like to give back to my county. I was one of those 80% that had to leave the county for a 31-year career to another county, and all that wasted time. And I'm very motivated to get jobs and businesses in here. I did that at the state. We brought clients from the north to locate in one of the 159 counties. And when we were successful, we celebrated together. And the people in the flight department also celebrated because we were in charge of the transportation that affected the decision for them to come to Georgia. So I would like to do the same thing on the county scale, where we are proactively notifying businesses that are looking to locate somewhere new or expand, and we showcase our county and we go out and reach them and recruit them and show them what a wonderful place it would be if they locate here. And we're unsustainable if we don't bring business in at the 75% level, because that's not going to cover the expenses just to keep the infrastructure maintained, much less increased. Thank you.
Again, I want to say thank you for inviting me to be here. This development and the Bentwater development are two of the developments that we brought in. Ooh, nice lightning show. That we brought in while I was on the commission. It was started from where we're standing now were pine trees at that time when I first started, and you see what has happened because of the planning that we did. And we were able to get these developments started here in Bentwater. And it's the perfect thing because of the topography. You couldn't have put a subdivision on this land on septic tank. We had to have it on sewer because I've seen the rock formations on one of the streets over here, and there's some rocks back there big as cars. But that was the reason and the motivation to have this done. I do want to serve the county. I've been a public servant for the county for over 30 years. I believe I have the leadership capabilities to do it, and I really do ask you for your vote. Thank you very much.
Last but not least, Virginia.
Thank you so much. I'm going to ask you tonight to vote for a proven leader. A few things were left out of my biography, which is fine because I wanted to share them myself. I served as state director for Americans for Prosperity, a very conservative national organization across the state of Georgia. We grew that organization from 64 people to 58,000 people. I have served with Faith and Freedom Coalition since 2014. I'm a regional director for them, and I just want to say that this county has great potential. I think I'm the one to lead it forward. I will represent you well. You will never be embarrassed by my behavior. I will tell you that right now, and I will always be responsive to you. So please remember to vote Virginia. Early voting starts in about a week and a half. Thank you.
So that wraps up the chairman presentation, so let's give them all a hand. So before we go into the next race, Virginia mentioned that the election for actually both sets is on May 24th. Now, in Paulding County, it's a very Republican county, so that is it. There are no Democratic candidates running. So it's very important that you get out to vote. There could be a runoff because there's 4 of you, but May 24th is the date, so put that down and make sure you come out and vote. All right, so without further ado, let's move to the District 17 race. Mr. Maxwell drew the short straw tonight and is going to go first. So if you'll come on up. So again, we're going to do the 4-minute and 90-second.
Got it.
So let me read your background. So Mr. Maxwell has lived in Paulding County since 1958. He is widowed with 2 children. Howard currently serves as the incumbent as the Georgia State Representative for District 17. He owns an all-state insurance agency and is a successful businessman. Howard loves hunting, motorcycling, and reading.
Thank you very much, Mark. Good to be here tonight, and we'll get through before the rains come in a minute, but thank you guys for being here. There's not many people who will come out on a Friday night to listen to a bunch of politicians talk. Leadership, experience, conservative values. I believe I've got that in my background. I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. I was born in Douglasville, moved back here in 1958 in the 3rd grade. But I was telling some of you good folks when we were talking earlier, right over the hill down at 7 Hills, my granddaddy owned 300 acres of land back in the 1800s. He farmed this land when there were 5 families out here, the Maxwells, the Tumlins, the Westbrooks, the Grogans, and the, oh good gracious, like Griffin. There were 5 families in this whole area out here. It was called Crowsville. I can tell you all about it. There's a big place out here somewhere that we used to call a crow's nest, where we used to go out and climb rocks and the crows stayed in. But I grew up out here hunting back until, and my granddaddy sold the last 180 acres of land in 1947 for $1,500 to the Popewood Company. He sold that land because his youngest son was wounded on Normandy Beach in D-Day. Shell exploded and he was paralyzed from the waist down. He wanted to get the boy next to the doctor, sold that land and moved him up to Dallas, bought a little old house two doors down from the hospital Dr. Joe Mathis used to run. I'm a Paulding County boy. My wife and I met in Second Baptist Church in 1967. Just a quick story. I got engaged March the 1st, got drafted March the 15th, hitchhiked home from Fort Gordon June the 20th, got married June the 21st, went back to Fort Gordon June the 22nd. Had a 2-week leave before I went to Vietnam. First letter in Vietnam was, "Dear Daddy." She was pregnant. My daughter was 6 months old when I got home. I extended 45 days to get out early, and my daughter was 6 months old when I got back. She lives over in Bentwater now. She's 45 years old, got 2 of my grandkids here. Experience. I was elected to the school board in 1988. I served 13 years on the school board. I was chairman 7 years. During that period of time, I was also chairman of the Georgia School Board's Workers' Comp Association. We started our own workers' comp board in 1992 because we couldn't buy workers' comp insurance at that period of time. Elected to the House in 2003. I've been a leader in our House of Representatives. I was chairman of the Audit and Information Committee, chairman of the Retirement Committee 4 years, and currently chairman of the Regulated Industries Committee. People talk about career politicians. So I've been in office roughly 28 years or so. 13 years on the school board. I can tell you there's nothing that makes a career out of being on the school board. When I was on the school board, we made $50 a meeting. If you tell me how you can do that, go twice a month and make $100 and make a living out of that, being a career, I'll hand it to you. In the House, we make $17,000 a year, but some days we're down there for at least 3 months. We've been there as long as over 4 months, getting out the end of May. I love what we do. I love the experience. I love working for you folks out here in District 17. I don't mind making the hard votes. I told people I'm voting, when I'm down there voting, making decisions, I only have 2 options to make. I've got a yes and a no. Every time I hit a button, somebody's going to be happy, somebody's going to be mad. My daddy had a 3rd grade education. He dropped out of school, started helping his daddy farm out here. Dad couldn't teach me a whole lot, but he told me to work hard, do the best I could, make the best decision I can. I try to do that for you folks here in Paulding County. I believe that matters for you, it matters for me, it matters for my family, and that's what I try to do, is make the best decisions. But when I hit a button, green or red, yes or no, it's going to make somebody upset. But that's the way it is. I'm voting for our next generation out here. I'm not voting for the next election. I mean, that's just the way I am. If you got a question, call me and ask me. Experience or leadership down there, the new driver services. I don't know if you guys have ever been up to the courthouse in Paulding County. We're opening a new driver services building here at the end of May. I went in the governor's office 2 years ago and asked the governor for $1.2 million. Told him we were the largest county in the state that didn't have our own driver services building. He looked at it. He said, "I think we can find you money, Representative." So we're opening a new driver services center here at the end of May. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Representative. This is Kirsten Liberty. All right, so let me read your background. So Miss Liberty has lived in Paulding County since 2002. Kirsten is married to a Navy veteran and has 3 children. She has worked for the National Park Service and has done grant-based nonprofit work for at-risk inner-city children. Kirsten loves hiking, biking, jogging, swimming, and canoeing with her family.
Thank you. I have met some of you. I was up in Ackworth. You were the first town, Ackworth and North Dallas, you guys were the first area where I started knocking on doors. And boy, are you guys friendly. I loved it. It was a great way to start off my campaign. So I really appreciate all of you all. My name is Kirsten. As he mentioned, I have been here 14 years. I came to Georgia kind of in a roundabout way, ended up working with inner city children in California, actually, and had an opportunity to come south to Georgia and took that opportunity. One of the reasons that I decided to run for office is because I noted in Paulding County that we had a definite lack of open, transparent, and ethical government. I watched over time as things started collapsing with the trust between the people and the people running this government. And I started having a real problem with that. That is not at all the way that a government should represent the people. And so I decided to get involved, and I started talking to the Board of Commissioners. I started talking, Tony Crow can attest to that. I spoke very often to the Board of Commissioners about the airport, and you're going to hear probably at some point that I'm the airport girl. That is absolutely not the case. I have a lot of things in my ammo that I can use to talk to you about tonight. But the airport deal was done in secrecy. And that bothered me a lot. That was my main concern with that. You guys are going to hear about it if you haven't heard about it already. It is a very big division in the county. And as Virginia was saying, we have north, we have south, we have east, we have west. What we really have is we have airport and we have not airport. And that's what you're going to hear a lot of from all of the candidates, actually. A couple of the other things that bothered me last year. The House passed a bill that was the largest tax hike in Georgia history. The reason your gas is taxed is because of that tax hike in Georgia history. Let me clue you in. There was a bill sitting in there that could have been passed that would have given us a 24-cent tax rather than the 26 or 27 that we have now, that would have done exactly what it needed to do. And they would not bring it out of the House. So instead, we ended up with the largest tax hike in Georgia history. You will hear that it's the right thing to do. I do not believe that is the right thing to do. If you can do something for 24 cents, why would you do it for more? We can solve the roads and bridges problems that we have in this state with less tax, which is what I'm about. Less tax. We don't need more taxes. We need to use the money that we're bringing into the state wisely. We need to have accountability for the money that is being brought into this state, and we need to make sure that the people that are representing us ethically, they're representing us fairly, and they're doing their job properly. Okay? I really want the chance to go down to the Capitol and to be that open, honest, ethical person that represents the people of Paulding County. I have met people from Rockmart, I've met people from Temple, I've met people from Ackworth, Dallas, and Villa Rica, and even Cartersville addresses. And their main concern is that they feel that the government is not listening to them. Well, guess what? At 1,500 doors, I'm listening to you. I'm hearing what the problems are in this area, and I'm hearing about the lack of business, and I'm hearing about the lack of infrastructure. And there has to be something that we can do at a state level to help you guys out. I'm very excited about the exit off of the interstate up here, 3rd Army exit, and Virginia was talking about Lake Point. That is a great opportunity for Paulding County. All we have to do is bring in the businesses. What can we do to help you guys do that? That's my question, and that's something that I want to look forward to. Let's see what we can do to help out Paulding County to bring those businesses in. Otherwise, it's homeowners. It's all of the homeowners that foot the tax bill. Wouldn't you guys rather have some business in here that can help you out? I know I would. We've got a $215 million reservoir. We have a $13 million airport. We have a $9 million failed movie studio in Hiram right now that we are paying the taxes on. That is not what should be happening. We need to bring in viable businesses to Paulding County so that we don't have to share, so that we can share the burden of the taxes that we pay. It is not fair for the homeowners to be paying for Paulding County only, right? I want to help to bring in those businesses and to encourage people to move here, but also to encourage businesses to move here. And that, I heard the boinging, it's okay. That is my goal, is to go down and have a chance to represent you. It doesn't matter that I'm not from Paulding County. It wouldn't matter if I'd been here a month. The point is, you need to choose not based on friendships and based on family. You need to choose all of these spots based on who is the best candidate for the job and who wants it and who will represent you. Thanks.
Mr. Maxwell, 90 more seconds.
90 seconds. We've got a $60 million airport out here that's not being used properly, and whichever way we can use it to bring economic development to Paulding County. That's where it needs to be used. It's $60 million. It was paid for by the FAA. But I believe in economic development. I believe in jobs for the county. That's what I'm about. I believe I'm the best person to represent you back in Atlanta. I believe I can go down there and continue to do the job for you. It sounds like Ms. Kirsten needs to be running for maybe commissioner's seat up here with the things she's talking about getting done. What we're dealing with in Atlanta, talking about cutting budgets, when the recession hit, we had to cut $4 billion out of the budget. I know what it's like to cut. Education committee, I'm on education appropriation. That takes half of your dollars every year, $22 billion. We spend half of that in K-12 education. I'm on that committee. I look after your dollars. I look after what we're doing down in Atlanta. May the 2nd is early voting. I would encourage you to go. Start voting early so you won't have to wait in lines. And I would certainly encourage you to vote for me. Thank you very much, and I appreciate you being here and letting me be here tonight.
Thank you. 90 more seconds.
Thank you, Mark. Kirsten doesn't need to run for the chairman race because I think we have some great candidates right here. Kirsten is going to run for the state representative race because she feels like she can represent the people. I'm not a career politician. I heard him mention that. I've not even been a politician. That's beside the point. The point is that you have someone up here that is willing to represent all of you in a fair, open, honest, and ethical way. We may have an airport out there, but we got to find a solution for that airport, and that is not the only problem that is plaguing this county. So if you're looking for someone that is willing to represent you in a fair, open, honest, ethical, and transparent way, you need to vote for me on May 24th and or May 2nd. Early voting does start then at the courthouse in Paulding County. So if you have any questions, please come see me. I have a great website, great Facebook page, and I am available anytime. I want to meet you and I want to talk to you. Have a great night. And by the way, thank you so much to all of the organizers that did this. This has been a lot of fun. I've enjoyed meeting you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, so that wraps up the presentation part of our event tonight. I'd like to sincerely thank all the candidates for coming out. I've actually taken the time and had lunch with each one of them and have been able to have a lot of very nice discussions with all of you. So again, go out and vote. They're going to stay. You can talk to them individually. The music's going to come back on, and you can dance or do whatever. Stay out of the pool because of the lightning. It does look like there's some storms coming, but it appears they're going to miss us. So I think we'll have some time. So just enjoy the rest of the night, and thank you for coming out.